So welcome everyone to our Loving Waters new moon call, the last new moon call of December, as we head into this absolutely gorgeous year, 2018. So I'm Shelley Darling and one of the Loving Water Council guardians, along with Elizabeth and Maya and a new Water Guardian Council member, Shanti Hart. And we're holding the space for Jim Petruzzi and Kathleen Brigidina and Charlie Riverman, who all come together to really bring forth this expression of the water and give people a way to come together in community. So with that, before I share anything more about Loving Waters, I'm going to invite you all to put yourselves on mute and welcome Pamela and Kathy Roberts, and going to pass this beautiful crystalline, let's just use the golden dolphin, pass the golden dolphin over to Elizabeth, who'll open our call tonight.
Take myself off mute. Hello all. I'm on my phone, so Shelley, how many people do we have on? So I can't see gallery view, I can only see.
Actually, this is really great. So there's a few of us, but Elizabeth, and for anyone else who is on their phone, if you swipe the phone left, you can see everybody. And if there's more people, you just swipe it again, and you can move the view around. So we invite people, whether you're on your phone or your computer, to do that.
Fantastic. Hello, Shanti Hart. Hello, Pamela. Maya. And there's someone else there that I'm not seeing.
It's Kathy Roberts.
Ah, beautiful. Hello. Ah, what a year this has been. Just really take some deep breaths. Really feel your internal water. Feel your water inside. Feel how this water has nurtured you throughout this year. And I really want to welcome each of us into this space, into this beauty, into this quiet pool of strength, endurance, compassion, nurturing. Really feel that inside your body. Feel that inside your cells. Feel it rising up to greet you as you turn your attention on it, as you turn your bright little heart light onto the water. Feel it open to you. Feel you open to her. Feel your cells soften to receive the blessings of the water. All this is inside your body. All this is in each one of our bodies, this process of welcoming and reception, gratitude. There is so much the water does with every pulse. Yet there is still so much more that the water is not able to do without form. Water creates life to give herself form. So that she can move through the universe. Thus, the water loves us so much. and has great affection and affinity for each one of us in our unique forms of expression. And feel this rich and deep connectivity with the water ripple out to each person on this call. Feel that same connectivity having been awoken in everybody in the circle and everyone that is not physically present but still part of our circle all across the world. Feel that connectivity waking us each up into remembrance of each other as water. Take a few minutes of silence to just really feel this common bond between forms. All of life is the infinite creative expression of water. We are together and we are one. And we are love. And as we come back as threads of this incredible infinite tapestry of life. Knowing that our threads are interwoven. Come back to your body now. You can wiggle your toes and your fingers and open your eyes. Keep your heart open. Keep this space open. The sacred space we create when we come together. As we continue our call. I thank you all for being here.
Yes, thank you, Elizabeth. What was really coming to me was this living, loving Akash, that this divine matrix of love as light within us and around us is all that's all that's here. It is that creative expression, as you were saying, of the waters within each one of us, connecting and flourishing and thriving. And so tonight we just in talking about this evening call, I just want to welcome everyone. And this is the holiday season. People are out and about and out shopping, and we're here holding this space of inner connectivity. And tonight we were really getting clear that it was about inner reflection and bringing that out, and this sense of flow and freedom from within. So I just want to take a minute, and just for those who might end up be watching this and who don't know a lot about Loving Waters, just to take a moment and share a little bit about Loving Waters. And then the way this call works is we just really tap into that field of consciousness as water, allowing each person to share, following the thread. We love to hear, share where you are and your watershed, and to really build this beloved community of water guardians around the world. So, and we'll also be sharing some very fun and amazing updates that are happening with those of us in this community. So, Loving Waters, it's a growing community of water lovers, guardians, and advocates uniting together in full remembrance. And I want to add full reverence and full resonance of our sacred relationship with water. As water guardians, we celebrate our living water, the source of all life on earth. And that we are an educational community that's really bringing the voice of this water through calls like this new moon call, or full moon water gatherings and ceremonies, and really inspiring individuals and the local communities into deeper conversations of this vital stewardship of our world's water. And I think that's simply enough for tonight. We also offer a water blessing brochure where people can host a community blessing on the full moon or bring it to their schools, work with their families around water, doing some really very simple water blessings that can connect people to their relationship, their locality, and as well their indigenous community. I think that's something that's really broadening. People are connecting with the indigenous wisdom, ancestral wisdom, and I'm sure Maya will be sharing. She works with an indigenous elder in Santa Barbara. So, this is really about opening this meaningful pathway to love and reconciliation on the planet through the understanding and love of water, the truth of who we are. So with that, I'm just going to pass this beautiful, and I am going to tell a little bit of story of the golden dolphin, but I'll pass this golden dolphin to Maya. And then we just open it up and allow what wants to move. And also, we are aware of the fires that are happening, still raging in California. We want to bring our song and ceremony to those areas tonight. And we invite you, as you're sharing, we know that Pamela's here, and we know she has just some beautiful, amazing heart songs that she carries within her being. And poems, anything that you feel that is really wanting to emerge on this call is here. And usually we spend the last half hour interweaving our water wisdom practices. What are we doing? What do we love doing? How are we sharing it so that people can really begin to feel comfortable hosting a water ceremony, or even being comfortable just themselves going out with their sacred water. So tonight we invite you to bring forth your waters and share within and without with us. So with that, Maya, I just hand it over to you, and then we're just going to open this call. You're on mute.
Hi, so thank you, Shelley, and I can't wait to hear about the golden dolphin story. But and I was listening, and I thought, yes, and you and Elizabeth speaking about the creative expression of water, and I'm so aware right now of the creative expression of fire, having been evacuated my home and been there for the fires, and then because of my need to breathe better in the smoke, I've come to Sedona, where I'm breathing clean air, and so aware that many circles here have been offering prayers and intentions and connecting with, first of all, the winds to calm them, because that's been the challenge. And so you speaking about the indigenous wisdom, I feel this is a really critical part right now on the planet, that the indigenous wisdom is guiding us back into sacred relationship with all the elements, with the wind and the air, with the fire, the water. And we particularly are holding the water. I was just very aware of that interrelationship of those, well, all four in the fires. And because it's so dry and there's so little water, and we've had the droughts, that this fire is able to burn as intensely as it has. And with all the prayers, we're able to calm the winds quite a bit. Right now, there's a break, and the firefighters are working to do as much as they can to contain it before Wednesday, when there's some prediction of the winds coming back. But I have really felt that the relationship of human consciousness, prayer, and intention, that the winds have been responding and calming in response to all of the people around the country, around the world, I think, that have been focused on this. And even though a lot of us have been, talking to the celestial waters, inviting rain to come, perhaps it's not the best thing right now because they said that so much is burned that it wouldn't. But what people have been saying is that the air is carrying more water. There's a dampness in the air that's new, that's happening now. So I trust that wisdom of the dance between the elements that, you know, even though we call for rain, it might be too much right now. And that moisture is helping. So it's been incredible. And I've been in deep meditation and had a very strong connection with the fire. And its expression was that it's an awakener. It's being an awakener right now. Awakening that whole area of Southern California to become aware that we've been out of balance and that we need to come together and really strategize and go into our hearts about how we could be in better caretaking of our environment. And that's another thing, the fire has brought so many people together. And just as water, when we connect around water and water unites us, this fire has actually brought many people together. So many beautiful stories of sharing and connecting. So just really tuning in on a deep level to that dance between those two elements and, of course, the earth and the air. And I just continue to hold a trust and a faith in the elements that sometimes we need to be in respect and yet surrender to it, as all the floods that happened in Texas and everywhere in the South, we're having to surrender to this fire and trust it. So I just invite us all to continue this and invite the fire and the water to find a balance together, and the winds. And know that we've been very lucky in our area that very few homes have burned, and that actually what is burning has not burned for 90 years, a lot of it. And it's that it's actually a good thing, that in the future will prevent, worse conditions. So I'm just staying in a place of love and trust, and also aware that the Saturn is in Sagittarius for this new moon, and that it's very much about coming into stillness. And even though there's been so much chaos going on there in Southern California with the fires, many people have just gone indoors or they've retreated somewhere and going inward. And this coming to stillness is perfect as we come into the solstice. This is, for me, what solstice is about. It's coming into the darkness and the stillness, and listening to the waters within us, and listening to the wisdom. And so for now, I'm complete, and just so much gratitude for all the people that have turned their attention to this time, and with prayer and ceremony. And I'm complete. And I invite the golden dolphin to swim to whoever would like to be next.
I'm going to share a screen for a minute, because as you were talking, Maya, sorry, I'm kind of in the dark, but I can't figure it out. I was talking to Maya because I left like the day or two before the fire started, and I went to Santa Barbara because there is this gallery exhibit from a man named Barry Brailsford, who lives in New Zealand, who is very tied to the water. and the Waitaha people. The Waitaha are the water barriers bearers that came from a confederation of people that came from all over Tibet, the Americas, Egypt, and heard a calling, came and ended up in New Zealand like 2,500 years ago. And the reason this is coming to me, a couple of reasons, is that they were known as a peaceful nation. They were there prior to Maori, and and wherever they've dug up any of the foundations, there's no weapons. And what's really amazing and befuddling at the same time is that Barry's now 80 years old, cannot travel to the United States, but he wrote this book called The Song of the Old Tides. And it's about the creation stories from the Waitaha ancient wisdom. And from those 12 stories, he, with an artist, created what's called the 12 Pōwhenua. And the Pōwhenua are totems, but they are totems that hold within it the expression of the creation stories. And for the first time in his life, and these 12 Pōwhenua had been separated for many, many, many years. And this year, out of all time and space and dimension, they were brought together by a man in Santa Barbara, Kent, and a woman who has a gallery in her home. And the 12 Pōwhenua were brought together for people to begin to experience, and the story of Barry telling the story of each of these Pōwhenua. It's a phenomenal exhibit. And right now, I don't even know if I'm you got to believe that they're still present because they hold such a high vibration, but the fire has reached where that home is and where that gallery is. So it feels really important to, embellish and honor this energy. And so I'm going to just share the screen with a simple karakia, a prayer that Barry had never ever spoken on video ever before 2014. I believe it was 2014. And he agreed to putting this karakia, this prayer that was shared when the canoes would go out into the waters with the navigators who understood the stars and the creation stories. So I'm just going to play this because I feel like it's like calling so much to hold a frequency for us tonight. So hold on 1 minute and I'm going to see if I can. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a lot. Well, I'm going to just play it. So behind we have, actually this is a story of a golden eagle hawk. That's a whole story in itself, but I'm just going to play this. So just listen, close your eyes and listen to this karakia, this prayer.
This karakia, which I offer in Māori language,
Oops.
I ask that the light, the core of creation itself, come into our hearts and minds, that we might walk in the light, that we might walk with compassion in our hearts, and we might walk with the courage to carry our dreams to tomorrow. Nā te maramatanga ki te nākoro o te ao. Kia koha te maramatanga ki te nākoro. Kia koha te maramatanga ki te ao. Mā te maramatanga, mā te arama, mā te kaha, te whaka, te whakara nui, te ao, te nui.
So with that, Tihe Moriora is really speaking to the breath of life, that waters that connect us all. So I'm going to just keep it open. When the golden dolphin wants to speak, I'll share a story, but I think it's time to let other people come in and bring their beauty of their being forward. So I pass the golden dolphin.
I receive the golden dolphin. Oh, do we both talk here? Hello. Can you hear me? Okay. Oh, it is such a blessing to be here in this warm pool of such deep feminine love. And I have been connected to you all year since whenever the first invitation went out for Loving Waters and the full moon circles. I just wanted to update you that I've only been on a few of these calls and not for many months on the Zoom calls, but I have been hosting monthly full moon circles with water blessings in Stratford, Ontario, Canada, about an hour and a half south of Toronto, between Toronto and Windsor, close to London, Ontario. And what began as placing a vessel of water in the center, and every month people would come and we would place crystals in the water and charge the vessel in the water with our love and our intentions, and people started to be curious, and then they would come and the first thing they wanted to do was put their crystal in and whatever prayers they had, and I could see people were really getting very interested in participating in this. And then in June at the summer solstice, we did a beautiful outdoor water blessing ceremony where I had baskets of flower petals, and we each took a handful of different colors, gold and yellow, pink and blue, and the greens of the grasses and the leaves, and a group of about 25 of us made the most beautiful flower petal mandala that we just placed all of the petals and the flowers with our love with this beautiful vessel. I wish I knew how to share screens, and you know what? I'll look up the picture, because I ended up going to our beautiful Avon River and then bestowing the water that we had charged with our love and our prayers and our intentions into the river. And a fellow was there who was a local photographer who took my picture and then got in touch with me the next day and said, I'm interested in doing something called the Venus Project. Will you come back in a week at sunset and let's replicate this water ceremony, and I want to take a bunch of pictures of you. So he brought crystal vases and reams of fabric, and so I just love how the ripples literally went forth from that. So that is my heart, so deeply grateful that I'm connecting with you monthly in my city. And that is my joy and my intention to continue to bathe the circulatory system of our world, starting with my Lake Victoria and the Avon River that flows out as a tributary. And my pain and my sorrow is having recently seen a documentary about the Great Barrier Reef and all the coral that is dying. And my biggest agony for the waters is the amount of plastic that's in the oceans. And so I, on a personal level, have just been really, whenever I can, not purchasing anything that comes in plastic. So these are my personal and planetary offerings. And interestingly, my son's girlfriend is doing a master's in environmental science. And this year she's been stationed in a northern community where this indigenous land, this reserve, they've been on a boil water advisory for some of these young children their whole lives. So there is so much that needs to be done and is being done. So that's sharing the contrast of all of it. And Shelley, I'm feeling called to offer a song to the water that just came to me that is partly one that you'll know, that as you asked me, it's so funny, I'm having a work day at my computer and I thought, oh, I haven't warmed up and I'm not ready. And then, but as soon as you mentioned it, the goddess said, oh yeah, you are. So I feel called to bring in this song that is a traditional hymn this time of year. that speaks to the elements of earth, of water, of where I live, the bleak and cold winter. But it also speaks to our capacity to give what we have. In the bleak midwinter, frosty wind made moan. Earth stood hard as iron, water like a stone. Snow had fallen, snow on snow, snow on snow. In the bleak midwinter, long ago. What can I give him, poor as I am? If I were a shepherd, I would bring a lamb. If I were a wise man, I would do my part. And my dog is singing with me. I love this. And he looks like a lamb. Go, Rufus. He's laying on the ground singing with me. Yet what can I give him? Give my heart, water flowing through me, mother, source of all, the very blood of Mother Earth, stream, ocean, water, as the fires rage, we tremble in fear. May we hear the song of water falling near. Songs of angels and all, lambs and dogs draw near. We are made of this love. We are here, we are here to let this water, this ocean, this river flow as light, as love to all who draw near. Thank you, Rufus, for your part. That last little part was just made up and channeled, but bless you. I love that, Rufus. Rufus, take a bow, lovey. He's just laying on the ground saying, I felt the vibration, the Holy Spirit moved me. Thank you, sisters. Bless you.
And what beautiful harmonies he gave to
Yeah, didn't he? He's a good boy.
Amazing. Totally.
such a cherished gift. Thank you so much. Beautiful. Well, I have felt you with us, and I thank you for that. I'm just overjoyed that you can join us on this call. One of my commitments for this year is to really bring forth a solid community full moon blessing. It hasn't happened yet, and I've been trying for a couple years, and I'm not sure what needs to be done to really bring it in, but I'm going to look for that key and open the door and let it flood through. So you're a great inspiration. Everybody that's Maya, Shelley, everybody that's been doing the community-wide water blessings. I'll also share a vision that the waters gifted me, and that's of creating our communities as water sanctuaries. Just claiming this for our community and bringing it to the city councils, and designating all these water sanctuaries around within our own watersheds, and really making that a title of great distinction and consequence and importance. And what would that look like? Just giving ourselves some time to really dream into what having our watershed be a water sanctuary would mean to the life of that watershed, and to create connections that every water sanctuary knows what the other water sanctuaries are doing for their communities, and that we can really build and generate a force of water guardians around the planet, connected, caring for each other, sharing how we've been effective, where we need help. Sharing songs. Having traveling art shows that go from water sanctuary to water sanctuary, inspiring as we go. I pass the golden dolphin on to Janice or Kathleen.
I shall take the golden dolphin and listen to its little voice, which clearly is speaking right now. I loved that. I could see all that, Elizabeth, as you were speaking. I was seeing the little lights popping up and all the places. And when you got to the art part, I was seeing quilting clubs making water quilts and bringing them, I just could see so much honoring the water, and it seems like a good progression from the power that built up starting, getting the world attention, to me anyway, with when Standing Rock started, Mini Wachoni, everybody started, and it just, the momentum must continue. And I think that beautiful vision is a way for that to come about. And I'm seeing your full moon water blessings pretty populated already, but maybe not with humans yet. But I think when you're there, you're not alone for sure. But I think calling in, having the elementals calling in all their friends, you know, is a good way to have that happen. And Maya, when you were talking and saying, well, they're doing all these prayers, I saw all of this people showing up, each one carrying a bucket of water, and then like lining the perimeter of these areas where the fires are, and just standing there like, you know, like a barrier, but saying, okay, we recognize you, we honor what you're doing, but we're here to help because there are humans and other critters in the area. And maybe, you know, that dialogue of, you know, seeing that dialogue, I guess, is what I saw. And Pamela, you know, you're always such a gift. And I remember the pictures you shared from that photographer. And now to see what led to him, I love that even more with the mandala made of flowers. That was beautiful. And I'll just try to real quickly wrap up that I was telling Shelley last night that I was taking this 3-month course to do personal shamanic journeys just for yourself. And so the third class, the teacher was like, okay, you're all definitely be taking a journey. And it was the day after last month's call. So I was all in the vibe of the water call, the new moon water call. So I'm doing my journeying, and I got taken down deep into Gaia, and it was a huge open cavernous room with this beautiful creek with this amazingly wonderful indigenous man standing there. And he said, I'm Brother Two Streams. And for every bit of water that you know about on the surface, there's a parallel bit of water down here. And my responsibility is to travel all over to heal it. And the reason I called you here, I'm like, you called me here? He goes, yeah, I called you here because you're up there and you can connect to, you've got to go to these places where the water needs to be healed. I'm like, go to them? And he goes, yeah, actually go to them. I'm like, oh, I don't know how this is all going to work. He goes, well, I have someone up there to help you. So then after he asked me to agree that I would be Sister Two Streams, I'm like, okay. And then he goes, but you have to go see our assistant. And I'm like, okay, so back up the stairs to the top of this mountain where I go into this cave. And now there's another guy, Chief Golden Eagle, standing there who I don't know him. A friend of mine knew him, and he passed this year. And he was standing there, and he goes, I have to show you some things. And so whoosh, we're off the planet, and we're spiraling around. And he's like, look at that. See that? That has to be healed. And you have to bring the attention to the people outside on the perimeter of Gaia. And then just so you know, when you go there and start working, we're working on it on the parallel part of it. It's healing from both directions. So you have to know that you're not doing this alone. You have a big team, you got a lot of helpers, but you have to let everybody know that the more attention they pay, the more it brings us, the more energy there's at a place, the more of us show up there and work at it internally. I was like, awesome, thanks. So I promised I would share that with all of you. And I haven't seen him again, and I guess this was the next step to tell you all, and I don't know what it means, but I believed it. I totally believed it. I'm complete.
Well, hello. I will just presence myself. Yeah, I guess when I got on the computer, I was going beyond ego, so I put red clover. It's a powerful blood purifier, which we're speaking of the blood of the planet today. So I come with blood, a mother that has been. Some of this is with Emoto. It was at Fujimori Dam. It's been with Mother Teresa. I've exchanged water with people at Healing Waters conferences and gatherings, and try to keep it flowing. I have a lot of water stories. Um, Pamela, you blessed us so much. I thought with this singing, the duet with the animal kingdom, I really thought was purposeful. The thread of the golden dolphin has been really strong with me today, Shelley, which the connection I have with her has started over water. And so it's kind of fascinating or deepening to me, as I'm so aware of some of the planetary movements, and then our moon is in Scorpio water sign, Jupiter being there, and of course that the big Saturn moving from Sag to Cap is the energies are ripe for this re-imprinting, for this transformation. And I guess I've just been so aware today that truly our only power is the emotional, the thoughts we imbue into this water that surrounds us, and how that is our power. And as we can so the watershed, I'm kind of bringing the shears, I suppose, from the Colorado River watershed, the Rio Grande watershed, the Gila River, and back in South Dakota, I live on a place where I actually have a spring. I just kind of have this natural water, and it's why I bought the place, because I knew water was going to be a commodity, and that flowing water isn't very present here. And so I guess I just want to say it was an honor to join you. All of your words were nourishing. I tried to imbue our prayers into the water. And, I know that peace and this world we wish to live in and are creating through our actions to the best of our, remembering that everybody's doing the best they can. And as the awakening and the consciousness rises through our efforts, people will do even better. I'm inclined to want to sing the Ojibwe song. I know it rings in the heart of Ni Bi Heka Heko. But I know time is limited, and my voice is nothing compared to Pamela. Oh, okay, we'll do it. We'll do it. You're supposed to do it 4 times, Sing with me. Ni Bi Heka Heko. Ye may wish away. Ni Bi Heka It's too low for me. I can hear all these grandmothers singing in their own ways, and I'm feeling the talking circles that I'm seeing gathering, how we're becoming more connected. This bridging is happening. The light. Isn't it interesting? The shadow that's before me. I have the sun setting here, in my outdoor office here in Phoenix. So, yeah, just honored to connect with you. We're giving prayers to this water that I bring with me, and I thank you for. I can go on endlessly. I'm a storyteller, especially with the water. It all starts for me at the Teslon River in Alaska in 1998. And it was because of a truck driving nun, so you can imagine how long that story takes. And I feel my time is fading as the shadow goes. So the golden dolphin is sailing from my heart to yours. Thank you for listening.
Really beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah. Wow. Amazing. And welcome, Lisa. We're just here sharing what water love is emerging from us, sharing where our watersheds are and really what our attention is. Tonight we just moving very deeply inside of this inner transmission of love as water. So I'll just grab it for a moment, and then Lisa, please feel free any moment you feel to share and introduce yourself, and just so that everyone knows, I'm in Sarasota, Florida. I've been quite a wanderlust around the planet, with a really deep reverence for water and doing water blessings pretty much wherever I go. And in Australia, we Loving Waters and Tribal Trust, we all came together and really did a prototype for a sacred water wisdom dowsing journey there. And I was just with Elizabeth in Penn Valley near the Yuba River, and I love that river. We walked there so much. And so looking forward to being back here for a while and landing in this Sarasota Bay, which actually has an indigenous story behind it. And maybe we'll start posting our stories, inviting you to write your stories or sing your stories, whatever. And we'll post them on the website, because these stories are really important. You know, we may not have enough time to hear this, endless long story here on this call, but those stories are important, the songs, the poems. So, we really invite you to send them in to lovingwaters.life@gmail.com. And hopefully we can shorten that up by the new year. And to share those stories, share them through video or writing, whatever works for you. So here in Sarasota, I'll just share this amazing piece about the golden dolphin, because I just got back here, maybe 10 days ago. And there was a package that actually went to Elizabeth's and never made it to me until midnight, not last night, but the night before. And when I walked in, I opened it up, and there was this golden, to me, it was a golden dolphin. To the person who sent, she never even thought about it as a golden dolphin. It was just this wooden little dolphin. But when it came to me, and I don't know, somehow some oils got on it in my hand, and all of a sudden it started to shine. It was like, oh my God. And it remembered me into the story and the legend of the golden dolphin, which is so important for us to really understand and learn and understand that we are the dolphin dreamers. And that's what the story of the golden dolphin is all about. And it was brought forth, and for the people who don't know anything, it was brought forth in 1976 by Peter Shenstone. And he just found himself one day in meditation, all of a sudden his hand grabbed a pencil, and he didn't stop writing for 2 weeks. And what came out was this legend of the golden dolphin. And that we know that the dolphin obviously represents humanity's joy and freedom and spirit of unconditional love. But this remembrance is remembering us, that we are the golden dolphin. We are that frequency of love and abundance. And that the golden dolphins emit a huge auric field of pure golden crystalline light, representing the beacon of pure unconditional love. And that they came originally to Earth, and obviously Sirius has a whole piece to play in this, which I'm not going to get into tonight, but to embed their codes before the planet fully transitioned into complete polar duality. And that there's a particular resonance, this resonance that we're holding here tonight, that we're just so being in, I don't know what the word is, imbued with is the only word I can think of. And that their essence this essence of what came was gentle playfulness is returning as we are part of this ascending transition of both Earth and humanity. And so he poured out this story of this impending tribulation and concurrent transformation of human consciousness, the role which the cetaceans will be playing in and have been playing in so many events, with the specific job, as we know, as record keepers, but as messengers. And that these messengers would form the seed of a new global tribe of golden dolphin dreamers, a tribe gathering that will transcend the old barriers of race, creed, color, ego, fear, and alienation to become, and this is what really, I'm sorry, I probably said this 5 times today, this is the piece that really gets me, to become the new leaderless Aquarian network of free beings. That we are completely this one being, this one source consciousness, this one water, really learning how to track the frequency of our essential selves. And in that, we're never getting in each other's way. It's just like we know when, just like a pod of dolphins, when that one moves in front, and we track that, and then the next one, and we just trust deeply our inherent nature. And so what he began to share, that we're living this ongoing legend, which simply represents the spirit of freedom, our guide through the reefs of time. So though we may be seeing some things happening on the reefs of the waters, literally here, locally, these dolphins are guiding us on the reefs of time. And that every being who enters into the dolphin tribal adventure brings their own unique contribution, and thus the legend grows and grows and grows, never ending. This dream of a perfect family, a perfect brother and sisterhood, a perfect life in harmony with each other and the world. And our only job now is to spread this word of love, this dolphin dreaming. And so I just feel like, I'll put out the link. There's just amazing threads to this and stories. And I just feel like this is the essence of Loving Waters. This is what we're doing. We're the dolphin dreamers, and we're just bringing forth this holding space for people to come forward and feel their hearts, feel their loves, sing their songs, love their voice, and come forth. And I love what Elizabeth was sharing, the water sanctuaries, to really see this bridge of light. We were on this call on Sunday, the Field of the Miraculous, and really envisioning and seeing this bridge of lights connecting, which we're all talking about in all of our groups, right? So honestly, that's what this new moon call, for anyone who's watching, that's what this new moon call is all about. Come and share your story and meet each other and really feel this connection and really learn what each one of us, learn the song that Kathy was singing, that Ojibwe water song. Learn the song that Pamela. Let's start singing each other's songs, because that's when we move to the full moon. What we've in Loving Waters have begun to realize is if we're singing each other's songs, if we're saying and speaking each other's intention into our water blessings, then we are moving and connecting that unity consciousness. So that's what's really growing here. So in any way you want to participate, whatever you need, we're here to support that. So with that, I just open the call, and at the end of the call, I'll share some updates, because there's some really cool things that are happening with Loving Waters. And with that, Lisa, if you'd like to jump in, we'd love to get to know you and hear from you. And yeah, so I'm complete. Thank you so much for this evening.
Well, good afternoon. It's nice to see everyone. I'm here in Northern California, actually going likely to the Yuba River tomorrow. And I don't have much to share at the moment. but I'm happy to be here. Thanks.
If you have some extra time and you would like to connect, I can post my phone number here and you can give me a call.
That'd be great. Thank you.
In Penn Valley, which is about 12 miles from Grass Valley, Nevada City area.
I'm in Grass Valley, Nevada City. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. How exciting.
Yeah.
I love that. Perfect. Yeah. One thing as Shelley was saying about the dolphins, one thing I would like to bring to your attention is that there's a film called Sonic Sea, which actually just won some Emmys. And it's about the noise pollution in the oceans and how just devastating it is for all the cetaceans. And I think that's a really important, they can't play their role if they can't hear the songs. And they can't live their lives, they can't survive if they can't hear the songs. And the shipping traffic specifically has, and the sonic testing and the oil exploration explosions have completely disrupted their lives. They can't mate if they can't sing their songs. They can't find food if they can't use their sonar. And a whale can sound off the Indian Ocean and be picked up like at the tip of Africa, and it can be received in California, or not in California, in Virginia. And likewise, it can sound off the point in India and be heard in California. The acoustics of the whales is ocean wide. And so the amount of, and I just really want to bring that to your attention. And if you can find the movie, you can watch it online for free. Watch it. It's I think would be an important thing to discuss as a campaign for Loving Waters. But it's certainly something we have to talk about because we don't have a concept. We don't. It's very hard to conceive of, number one, the amount of noise that ships put out, how much traffic there is on the oceans, and the repercussions for the cetaceans. So that just came forth with Shelley's sharing about the cetaceans. They have very important roles to play on the transformation of the planet, but they won't be able to do it. And the solutions are available now. It just needs public pressure to bring those solutions. They basically have to redesign the hulls of all the ships, so it's going to be incredibly expensive. But they need to start now with the new ships they're building, at least, and see if there's some retrograde on the ships, existing ships. So I'm complete with that. And thank you for listening.
That's just heartbreaking, and I thank you for bringing this awareness because along with the physical pollution, thinking about that sound pollution and all the ways it interferes. I will look that movie up, and I'm just popping in to say I have to go now, not because my phone is ringing, but for other reasons. This has been so funny. It's like all these magical little pieces popping in. Just before I say farewell, I wanted to say I love you all. Thank you for all the ways that you are guardians and beautiful souls, sisters, water keepers, and blessings for this season. And we will see each other again soon. I know. Much love. Bye-bye.
Thank you for your beautiful song.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Love you. Thank you. I'm going to jump in one more quick tip. I'm sorry. So because I'm going to get picked up. I'm getting picked up because tomorrow's my birthday. So you guys are all bringing me into this amazing sanctuary of love, of birth, and obviously the whales have a big place. But I wanted to share a couple of things because I have a feeling I completely. This is how out of it I am. I forgot that I didn't have a car to get to the restaurant, so I'm getting picked up. I wanted to share some really wonderful things that are showing up in Loving Waters in our next phase, and have happened over this past couple of months. So many of you know that. Let's see. Somebody, Shanti, can you put yourself on mute? Yeah, thanks. So a few things are happening. And one, bringing the past forward, is Loving Waters has been involved with the water bearers, helping to bring clean water systems to Vanuatu, an island north of New Zealand. And it took a long time to make it happen, but it finally completed itself, and I'll be sharing more with some pictures probably tomorrow or Monday, or whatever day this is. I don't know what day this is. This is Monday. So in the next couple of days. And so that is completed. And with that, we've built this incredibly beautiful relationship with the water bearers. And we will be ongoing in partnership as ambassadors for bringing water filters, clean water filters, continuing to Vanuatu, but wherever it's needed. And that's a really beautiful thing that's happened because of our connection and with them. That's one thing. And then on top of it, some of you might have heard that there's something in January called the 7 days of rest, from January 1st to January 7th. And Loving Waters has been invited to do an opening ceremony. And what's really incredible about this, as we move into 2018, this is the year of reception as well, is that it's a super full moon on January 1st. So we will be letting people know and inviting you to come and participate and really feel into that restoration, moving into the new year in groundedness and in balance and in love with the waters. It's just such a perfect, beautiful thing. And there was one more, Elizabeth, isn't there one? In any case, I can't think of what it is right now, but this phase 2 of Loving Waters is really building a larger network for us to participate together, to really see ourselves as in regions and states, to create a page also that where, like I was sharing, where you can send in your poems. Actually, that page is already up, and we'll be building it out, where you can really feel a congruent, coherent part of this sanctuary of life. Loving Waters doesn't belong to anybody. It belongs to you and you and you and you and you. And we're just the space holders for it. We're the water stewards. And we invite you to come and really bridge your community's awareness around this as well. So I think that's it for now. Elizabeth, did you or Maya, did you have anything else that you wanted to add in regards to that? Okay. So I wanted to share that just because I know I'm going to get a beep and I'm going to have to go. So I love you all, and I'm going to stay on as long as I can, and we'll just be on for a few more minutes. And please feel free to jump in with anything that you're doing in your communities.
I just wanted to know if Kath, Red Clover, if you would post those words to that song that you were singing, the Ojibwe song that you were singing.
I believe I'm not sure if I have the actual words with me here in my little traveling altar box or not.
Oh, whenever.
It sounds good. If I have them, I certainly will. And singing
And later.
happy birthday. Wish you happy birthday. And thank you all for your sacred time.
Shanti Hart, I believe the words and I can post them if.
Oh, thank you. Oh, good. Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to know how to say it.
Thankfully.
Okay. And then when you were talking about the book, you said we were beginning to become the new leaderless network of, but I was trying to write it down. Leaderless network of
Free beings.
free beings. Yeah, okay. I knew it was important, but I couldn't write fast enough. Thank you.
I get very excited about that. This I have another words I've heard for it, not leaderless, but fluid hierarchy, and that idea that you describe when there an individual has expertise in one area, they move to the front, they move into leadership. And I was thinking how wonderful that will be as we help that establish that. It's like the opposite of what's happening now, where there are people in leadership who have no expertise in the area they're in leadership. So I just love what the dolphins, and I had not heard this story of the golden dolphin. So I'm very excited to read more of it. And it feels like our mascot for Loving Waters, and remembering that we are dolphin consciousness. And I love the idea they're dreaming us up from their place in the water. Wow, I just felt like I heard water. I like water against the hull of a ship or something. Where did that sound come from?
Yeah, I heard it too.
Wow.
You know, Elizabeth, when you were talking about the movie, the sonic sea and the noise pollution, well, really that's happening on the land too. Everyone suffers from noise pollution. And I live in a city and I use public transportation. I have to put on headphones now to go out. I can't deal with the noise pollution, and it is actually becoming a diagnostic psychological condition for people so they're a reflection of us. We're a reflection of them, and people, I think we do need to get this movie out to everybody, because it's as above so below. If it's happening to them, it's happening to us, and we need to get the word out on this movie. I'm going to watch it and tell everybody about it.
Thank you for saying that, Shanti. I feel so much. It's not even just sound. It's all the microwaves and all that are being bombarded. And I'm just reading one teacher who's saying we have to raise our frequency, our vibration, so that it doesn't affect us so much. But we can also do what we can to bring awareness to it, and that perhaps there are ways we can change things. But yeah, we, as above, so below, like you said, we are suffering the same thing as the dolphins, and not even realizing how many of our illnesses and imbalances may be coming from that. So,
yeah, there's such a high level of vibration that, so many people are like, oh, I can't meditate, because they literally don't know what silence sounds like, or stillness. They don't know. There's always background noise for them. And they're uncomfortable in quiet, and they're afraid. It's like they become afraid of their own thoughts. Like, they don't realize it's the most comforting place.
and this is why I'm so excited about the group that's starting the 7 days of rest, because to me, years ago, I experienced in Bali being there on their New Year's Day. And then New Year's Eve, they do kind of like we do, only they make a lot of noise and play drums and pots and pans to chase out the dark spirits at the end of the year. And then on New Year's Day, they go in complete silence, meditating, fasting. No machines can operate, no cars, no computers. They unplug all the electricity. And I have never felt such peace in my life being there on that day. And many years ago, and I remember thinking, if we could do this in the US or the Western world, even for one day, it would change everything. So I love that this 7 days of rest it's the initiation of something, that we are so out of balance. We're so into producing, achieving, doing. And I'm so excited that this may be helping to bring in recognition of, we need just time to be and to rest and be still.
Mhm. Absolutely.
And even simple as the light pollution that is happening on the planet when you see satellite photos of the Earth and how it's just lit up 24 hours a day. And some of our pollinators can't pollinate because there's too much light. Moths do a lot of pollinating and they're not able to. And just the balance and, giving ourselves a break from the modern world for 7 days. What a joy. Turning your porch light out at night. Walking in the dark, feel your way and just be okay with the darkness and the quiet. Yeah. So I would love to offer it to you, Maya, if you wish to close. If anyone else has anything else they want to add to it or share.
It would be good to close it because I realize that I need to shut off my computer or otherwise it's going to go for another hour. So
All right.
I would love to be part of that closing.
So. Why don't you go ahead and start it? I'm going to have to go really soon. And maybe I would just say in closing that I love what Shanti said about the two rivers, and above, as above, so below. That, for me these days, tuning in deeply to the primordial waters deep in the earth, and remembering that those are the waters that hold the original codes and the purity. And we're working at creating that or recreating that or clearing it to recreate that above on the surface here. And just remembering all the support that is there for us. We're not doing this alone. We have so much support, and as we commit to this work, those deep waters are here to support us, our work on the surface with the surface waters and the celestial waters. And just invite us all to remember, or send our roots down deep and remember those primordial waters that are nourishing us and restoring the purity of the waters in our body. And I give so much thanks for all the energies and guides and guardians that are supporting us in this work. May we rest in that and relax and flow like the dolphins with playfulness and joy as we do this work.
Just take a breath and gratitude.
So much gratitude.
Thank you.
That we are regenerating from the roots up.
Yes.
Love you
All
all.
right. Love to you all.
See you on the
Day.
phone and the next one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. One more incredible cycle around the sun.
That's right. The embryonic cycle. Here we go.
Spiraling.
Love you all. Bye.
Bye.